Hello there guys, and welcome to another race here in Elite Racing League for round number 4 in Mexico. This round was supposed to be in Belgium, but well, the race was on September 16th, and what does that mean? It means that it is Independence Day for us Mexicans, and the league owner is also Mexican. Well, and the majority of the league, they decided to move the circuit. I mean, to change the circuit, and instead of Belgium, it is Mexico. So yeah, it's going to be a patriotic race. And meanwhile, I'm just changing the setup, and I was just lowering the wings. Mexico has 2 straight lines, and we need to be really fast in those straight lines in order to make good overtakes in the race, if we have chances to. And I started to lower the wings, I mean, but I have practiced with those wings, and I just found that it wasn't that great, but I'm risking it. And I don't know, but hope it pays off that gamble, and well, hope we do a little bit decent in the race. But I know I won't do lots of things in qualifying because it is going to be focused in the race. The time trial setup is like 40-32, too much wings, yeah, and also in the straight line you might not even get into 8th gear. So yeah, I decided to lower the wings in order to make the overtakes easier. Maybe I could get advantage in race. So yeah, I won't expect that in qualifying it'll be very good. And while I was just finishing my first flying lap of this session, we just set a lap time of 1:17.221, which puts us into 5th place, but it wasn't that satisfied the lap. I was expecting it to be like a 116, a high 116, but not a 117. That is just a little bit disappointing for me. But the thing is that we have another chances to get better lap times. And well, remember that we chose the the balanced set of tire location, so this means that we only have 3 sets of soft tires and 2 sets of mediums, and in qualifying I'll just only use 2, which means that in 2 laps I'll use 1 set, and that lap that I'll use the used sets will be the next one. So let's get into that thing. And on my second flying lap, we are now exiting turn 3, and we're seeing that unfortunately we just exceeded the track limits, and oh man, you can't do this to me. Yeah, that is just a little bit terrible for me, and I got the lap time invalidated, and now still I decided to go for it. And to make things worse, I forgot to say that I forgot to go in this lap with the used soft tires I ran in the first flying lap. Instead, I'm using the new ones, which means that I will use 3 sets of soft out of 3 in this session. So that means that I won't have any soft tires available, the ones that are new for the race. And to make things more frustrating, we just crossed the line and we improved by overall 0.5 of a second, and we just set a lap time of 1:17.6, and we just saw that we could be up into 3rd place. Yeah, that is just a little bit frustrating for me. But to be honest, I don't have any feelings of that anymore. But yeah, that was a little bit frustrating for me, and well, at least I have another chance to make a decent qualifying result, at least when I'm using this setup. Also, I'm a little bit worried about the setup I configured. I don't know. I think I I failed. I failed to do a great setup that gets great straight line speed, and yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I stick with the time trial setup and don't change it, and stick with high wings, and it is because of that. Yeah, that's just a little bit frustrating for me, and well, I need to work more with the setups in the future, maybe to study where to put in the wings and where to not put in order to make a great setup for the race. I might visit the Sim Racing setup website later on, but for now, we are entering the garage, and when the 2-minute mark hits, we're going to leave the garage and set the third and final flying lap of the session with new soft tires, which means, as I said previously, that I won't have any soft tires available for the race. So yeah, that will be a little bit of a sacrifice, but also it is going to be a great gamble. Hope there isn't a safety car at the end of the race in order to force me to box for softs, and yeah, that could mean that I'll be in a disadvantage because of those soft tires will be used. So hope this doesn't happen, and we're seeing that on that first flying lap, we set the fastest first sector, the provisional fastest, but well, let's see if we can make a better one in the third and final one. So let's do that thing. And now we are about to begin the third and final lap of this session. I'm suffering a little bit from the lack of grip, mostly due to the low wings I have, and now we are heading to this big straight. We're hitting like 338 kilometers per hour, and into turn 1 I just braked a little bit too early because I touched the sausage curve, and we're seeing that the Aston Martin has got the corner, and we just got distracted. I don't know who was. Yeah, he was an Aston Martin, and we're seeing that the Mal got the fastest lap, and yeah, unfortunately that distraction cost us almost a tenth, and heading into turn 6. Now we're improving by a tenth of a second, and into turns 7 and 8, we're seeing that we're now improving by over 2/10 of a second, and now into like turns 10, 11, and 12. Now we're improving by 4/10, and into, I don't know, entering the stadium, we're seeing that unfortunately it is not going to improve a lot, and in the middle of it we're seeing that we just got the terrible cornering speed, and into the final corner we just set and crossed the line with a 116.759. It wasn't a satisfying lap. It puts us into 7th place, but I could maybe get like a tenth faster, but yeah, it wasn't satisfying that lap. Yeah, that is just a terrible thing, and well, let's just hope this setup change gets worth it in the race. So here it is, the race results. Tamal got pole position, followed by Arti Moreno, then doesn't that got third, Verstappen in 4th, Peña in 5th, Jordan in 6th, us qualified in 7th. I would say myself, I qualified in 7th. Ham got 8th, Darkin in 9th, and well, hope you have seen that full qualifying results. I'm going to tell them more, but only just with the top 14. And we are seeing that in 10th place is El Manca, 11th place was Musk, in 12th place was my teammate Memicus, and Z qualified 13th, and Mochis in 14th, and I don't know who are drivers who qualified outside of the top 14. Maybe you have seen the full qualifying grid in these previous seconds, or maybe the previous minute. But now let's head into the pre-race strategy. Alright, so here is the pre-race strategy. It is going to be a medium hard strategy, and I've lowered the fuel down to 52 kilograms, so I can manage my tires a little bit more, and also get the car a little bit lighter, and also just in case there is a safety car, and not have the car with too much fuel remaining. I don't have nothing more to say about it. So now let's get into the Grand Prix itself. And we are about to begin the race itself, and the 5 red lights have now been turned on, and we are on the way for the Mexican Grand Prix, the patriotic race, September 16th, and we are on the outside and heading into turn 1. I didn't deploy much ERS. Berni has returned from the race. Straight down there, unfortunately I just ran wide, and into turn 1 I also ran too wide, and I just made contact with Johnson, and we just got anchored to our wheels, and we just dropped down to P12. That is just a terrible start, and we just dropped down to P14, now P15. We just lost like 8 places in just 3 corners. That is just a terrible start for us, and oh man, that is just a terrible thing, but at least we can maybe come back from this thing. And we're seeing that Peña also spun, I wouldn't say also spun, I would say just only spun, but we are at least up into P13 since P15, and well, hope we can get a few more places. But I'm just seeing that this setup change of lowering the wings might not be worth it. So yeah, that is just one of the biggest regrets I ever did in my racing career, and I almost get into the pit lane and I almost spun. That is just a terrible thing. I'm just having absolutely no grip because of these low wings. I just realized why in the time trials they have high wings, and I'm just struggling. That is just a terrible thing. I should have been stick with that time trial setup, and I shouldn't have changed that thing, or maybe just slightly changed a little bit, lowered the wings a little bit down to, like, for example, like 33-28 instead of 30-23, I think so. So yeah, that is just a terrible thing, but let's hope we can make a little comeback, getting back into the points maybe, but let's see. And here it is, some good news, because on lap 3 we are getting closer and closer with my class, and I don't know how am I still in this race. Oh my goodness me, I was just a little bit scared. He spun and he was on the racing line. Fortunately he ghosted, but I think I have spent all of my luck in that thing, and maybe I'll have terrible luck because I have run out of luck. I don't know, but the virtual safety car is now ending very quickly, So this is just a very short virtual safety car, and now we're entering lap 4 and we're having DRS, and let's turn it on. We have turned it on, and we are about to catch my cloth and get up into P11. So yeah, that is just having a little bit of a good comeback. But remember that we also need to manage our fuel because we underfueled the car. Still, I'm just going to do that thing, a little bit of lift and coast, and we're setting personal best. So maybe we're now adapting from it. So let's manage our tires and fuel and hope we get a few places, as I said early on. And speaking of getting up a few places, beginning lap 5, we overtook Michael, but just in time because Vertapia retired from the race and the full course safety car got deployed. On this time, I decided to stay out, and yeah, I think this is the reasonable choice because we are just only 32 laps to go. I was planning to box for hearts, but yeah, I don't think these tires will last until the end of the race, and a lot of you people will think the same about it. So yeah, that is not going to be a smart choice to box for hearts in this lap. Not even a good gamble unless you're gambling that there might be another safety car, like for example like lap 25 or 26, but that won't be my case because remember that I don't have any new softs available. So yeah, I'm on a terrible disadvantage in terms of strategic options, but well, hope there is no safety car after this one, and I can do the normal strategy I planned to do before the race started. So now let's get into the bunching up field, heat up our tires, or maybe just maintaining our optimal temperature from now, and wait until the safety car ends in order to race once again. And the time we are going to race once again is going to happen beginning lap 8 because the safety car is on this lap. The safety car has got into the pit lane and we race once again, and we're seeing that Toto has a 5-second time penalty, so that means that we're up into P9 with penalties applied. But unfortunately that won't last long because Puppy is trying to overtake me around the outside into turn 1 and into that corner. We're seeing that, oh my goodness, I just got a little bit of oversteer, and into turn 3 we just carried in a little, oh my goodness me, that is just a terrible relaunch because Puppy just got more to the inside, but he didn't realize I was there and I couldn't back up, and we just spun and we dropped down to second to last place. We're down to P17. That is just a terrible thing. I was just very frustrated, and yeah, that is just a little bit of a frustration. I would say disappointment more than frustration. Man, well, at least it isn't as bad as Bahrain in Season 6 in Elite Racing League. Or maybe, could this be way worse? I don't know, but let's hope it doesn't get way worse after this one, and let's just move on and continue racing. And now we are ending lap 8, and we're seeing that Peña has got into wall, and the safety car got deployed for the second time because Peña retired from the race and Bappy paused. On this time I decided to box for hards. On this lap it is way more reasonable to box for hards because I'll do like a 27 lap stint, although it will see that it is a lot, but at least it is not that much compared to like 32 laps or 31 lap stint with the hard tires. But well, hope this gamble works, and I locked my rear brakes and almost spun, but I could catch the car. And we're seeing the gap between Puppy and myself is now half a minute. So that means that if I box, that's just literally a free pit stop. I'll have a literally free pit stop. I won't have anything to lose. I was thinking that with that boxing I might get down to last place, but no. The gap between Bappy and myself is very, um, very long, almost half a minute, and now we are now boxing for our hearts. I was just waiting for the other cars to move on, and we are now entering the pit lane, and well, hope we get a good pit stop, and we are now changing our tires and we get a decent pit stop. Well, I wouldn't need a decent pit stop because I don't have literally anything to lose, and the gap between Papi and myself has dropped from 30 seconds all the way down to, I don't know, maybe just 26 seconds, not just 15, 14, I mean 10 seconds now. Not a lot, so yeah, at least I needed just a 10-second pit stop and still would be in P60. Hope we make a great comeback in the race, although it will be very difficult because of that setup I chosen to change, and yeah, that'll be one of my regrets, and that regret is that I just lowered the wings. Yeah, I was just a little bit desperate. I wanted to have a little bit of competitiveness in the straight lines. I did not want to be a sitting duck in the straight lines, but maybe it could have been because the drivers deploy a lot of ERS, or maybe they just have a little bit of their wings lowered down, but not too much, as for myself, or maybe they're just that good and I'm just terrible at corner exits. I don't know, but we are now into the bunched up field, and let's wait until the safety car ends. We're seeing that Godly is boxing, but the weird thing is that he's on hards. I don't know what's happening to him. I don't know. Maybe he's boxing to change his front wing, but that is just a terrible thing for him, and he's dropped down to last place. And well, let's just heat up our tires, and we're seeing which tires is Godly going to put, and we're seeing that Godly changed his hard tires to another set of hard tires. I think he has chosen the harder set of tire location, which like almost nobody chooses it, and we just chose it when there is a red flag and we move to another lobby and there is no qualifying, so it is just the pure race, and on that moment we would not need more than 2 softs. So yeah, hope I have explained a little bit well, and now we are just getting up our tires, and the safety car is in this lap, so we are about to race once again, beginning lap 12, and now we are about to enter the stadium section, and we're seeing that the cars are stopping a little bit, and I decided to just stop a little bit, and no! Why? No, you cannot do this to me. No way. Still, it wasn't going that good. it wasn't going that good, but yeah, that made the situation from bad to worse. And with that, that concludes the worst race I had in my sim racing career. This is now the worst race I've ever had. That was just a terrible thing. I slowed down, but Bappy didn't want to slow down too much, and he just destroyed my front right suspension. To make things worse, he didn't have any damages, but I was just so angry that I decided to end this stream right now. So have a nice day, goodbye. Well, here it is, some black screen, but technically this video is now over, so yeah, have a nice day. But I don't think you have enjoyed that video, but I did not have enjoyed the race. That was just the worst race. The worst race I ever had in my life. I wouldn't say my life, more than my sim racing career. Yeah, that is just terrible. And maybe the championship hopes I had, that maybe I was just very illusioned about it, and still I wouldn't win that championship because of Fred Tapia. Yeah, I'm thinking that in reality my championship hopes are over. Yeah, that is just a terrible thing, terrible race, but let's move on and hope we get a good next race. Have a nice day, and hope I do get a nice next day. Goodbye.